What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've actually been trying to do for a while, and we finally got it done. A bunch of stuff that have kept this being put off for a while, we'll go into that, but today we are talking about how to change the high beam bulb in a Chevrolet Traverse. This video is sponsored by Auxito. I have done a couple of videos for them. I've done a bunch of videos on LED bulb swaps, and a couple of my videos, they saw them and actually reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing some videos for them, and I agreed. I don't get paid by them. They haven't sent me any money, they just sent me the bulbs to do the videos on to show to you guys, and I don't get paid if you buy these bulbs or anything like that. So that is the sponsorship between me and Auxito. They saw my content on my channel and just asked if I'd be interested in doing some videos with them, and I already was. I've been holding out on doing LED headlight swaps and fog light swaps since my other LED bulb swaps that I've done, and I agreed to do some videos for them and check out their bulbs. That is the only sponsorship that I have with them. So let's hop right into it. Now, there is a bunch of different videos on YouTube talking about how to replace the high beam bulbs on a Chevrolet Traverse. All are incorrect. I was interested in doing this, and I replaced the low beam bulbs on my Traverse. I did a video on that. That was also sponsored by Auxito. And then I said, all right, I'll do a high beam bulb LED swap as well. Now, when I went to do it, I was having trouble figuring out how to do it. Looked at a bunch of videos on YouTube and found out that all of them were talking about the low beam bulb. Now, you have a low beam headlight bulb and you have a high beam headlight bulb. The low beam headlight bulb, like I said, I've already done a video on it. You actually replace this by going through the wheel well is the easiest way to do it. You go take part of the wheel well off so you can get in there, and then it's got a dust cover that you screw off, and then you can get access to the bulb. Now with the high beam bulb, you can't do it that way. You actually have to go in through a different location. You actually have to open the hood on your Traverse and go in through the engine bay. If you're interested in doing this, this bulb is probably going to be an H7 bulb. Now, if you're interested in doing this, you do need a H7 LED headlight bulb, high beam bulb, and you're going to have a bunch of different options for the bulb. The one that you actually pull out on the Traverse has a clamp on it. It's not a quarter turn and pop out like your low beam is. It's completely different from the low beam. I don't know why, but it is an H7 bulb and it uses a clamp to hold the bulb in place. You've got a clamp that goes down on a little thin metal slot, and you'll actually have to press down, scooch it over, and then slide it back for it to clamp in place. When you take it out, you'll have to depress the spring and push it out to the side, and it will swing out like that, and you can freely pull the bulb out. When you do that, when you go to get a new bulb, most of LED headlight bulbs that you get will have a fan on it, like I did with the low beam bulb, which worked fine because it didn't have a clamp. You just put it in and screwed it the quarter turn and it popped in place. Since this has a clamp, I found out you won't be able to use a LED bulb with a fan on it. Luckily, Auxito actually makes these. This is actually the third try I've done with Auxito headlight bulbs to do this high beam LED bulb swap. If you get a bulb, or if you get an LED bulb with a fan on it, you'll be able to put it in place, but the wire spring that you have to swing over the bulb to actually install it, it will not work because the fan is there. You have to get an LED bulb that is just like the H7 bulb that you put out, that there's nothing back behind where the actual wiring pigtail actually pops onto the bulb itself. So once you finally found the bulb, if you go on Auxito's website, you can find a bunch of different options of bulbs that they offer. If you type in H7, just look until you find a bulb that doesn't have a fan on the back of it. As far as I know, they do have two different options of H7 LED bulb. that doesn't have a fan on it. I picked one. I don't know the actual details on what it actually matters. I think there's different watts and the lumens and stuff like that. I don't think it actually matters which one you get, but you do need to make sure that you don't get one with a fan on the back of it. Once you finally found one that doesn't have the fan on the back of it and you get it and you're ready to install it, all you have to do is take the cover, go in the engine bay, lift your hood up, and you'll have these plastic pop-in clips. You have to use a flathead screwdriver and pop them out and take the cover off. Once you get that off, you'll be able to see a dust cover on the high beam bulb right in there. You'll unscrew that just like you would with a low beam bulb. Unscrew that. It will have a wire pigtail that you'll just pop off. And then you'll see the wire clamp on there. You'll depress it and push it out of the way and it will flip up freely and you can just pull the bulb right out. Once you do that, you'll put your new LED bulb in there and pop your spring back in, put your dust cover on, and you're good to go. Something I did notice and come across while doing this video is when you put the pigtail on, you can actually put this on the opposite way. It does matter how you put it on. So when you put it on, be sure to turn your high beams on to make sure it works. If it's not working, pull it off and flip it 180 degrees and pop it back on. I did have this happen, thought the bulbs were screwed up and I would have to do a fourth try in doing this video, but that's all it was. You can install this bulb and pop the pigtail wiring harness on there the opposite way. So just be wary of that. So that is pretty much it. Once you get all of that stuff off, you pull your old bulb out, you can put your new LED bulb in the exact same way. Push the clamp back on, put the dust cover back on, put your plastic cover back on, and shut the hood, and you are good to go. Just remember that when you put your pigtail on the high beam bulb, it does matter which way you put it on. So if it doesn't work, pull it back off, put it back in 180 degrees and pop it back on, and you should be good to go. So that is how you replace the high beam bulb on your Chevrolet Traverse. As far as I know, before I did this video, there was no correct videos on how to do this on YouTube or on the internet, period. All of the high beam bulbs swap for the Chevrolet Traverse that I've seen online was actually talking about the low beam bulb. So this is the first video if you're interested in changing your high beam bulb. This is the first video on actually how to do that. Hopefully this was helpful. Be sure to get down in the comments and let me know all of your thoughts. If you thought this video was helpful, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Check out all of my other videos. I do a whole lot of different content on the channel here on different stuff I'm doing depending on where we're at. I do videos on all of my different projects that I've got going on, and it's a wide varying thing of stuff that I do. I have done a bunch of different videos on LED swaps on a couple of my different videos. If you're interested in that, check those videos out. I have done a bunch of stuff on the Traverse, and I have a Chevrolet Silverado that I've done that actually has its own playlist. So if you're interested in checking any of those out, you can check those out. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, get down in the comment section, and if you haven't yet, be sure to get subscribed to the channel. Be sure to check me out on Instagram as well as the Josh Wiley channel. I post a bunch of pictures on there of stuff that I've got coming up, stuff that's popped up here on the channel, and some stuff of different projects that I've got going on that sometimes doesn't actually make it here on the channel. So be sure to check me out on Instagram and give me a follow. That's all for today's video. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and I will see you guys next time. See you.